Welcome to episode 5 of Media Nest. As you know by now, the podcast where we discuss albums and films each week. This week, the film recommendation was by Brad, and it was Quinton Tarantino's Reservoir Dogs. And then the album recommendation was Dylan's this week, and that was Paramore's album Riot. So, Brad, I'll hand the reins over to you for our film discussion.
Ah, yes.
Let's
Okay,
go,
so Reservoir Dogs, 1992 film, crime film written and directed by Quinton Tarantino. What was his feature-length debut? Now, the funny thing about this was that it wasn't intentionally his first feature-length film, but his first film that he ever tried to do actually ended up getting burnt down in a lab.
Right.
So,
What?
yeah, so I think he was recording in 89. I can't remember the name, the title film name. But
Okay.
he was set to have his debut in 89, but the film lab actually burnt down.
Are
Fair
you
enough.
kidding?
No,
Yeah.
I'm not even joking you. So yeah, originally this was only meant to be shot on a 30K budget.
Damn.
What?
But with the help of Mr. White, who is Harvey Keitel,
Yeah.
he actually helped raise all the funding to actually get this film
Fair.
a 1.2 to 1.5 million budget.
Damn.
Glad that he is.
Which then allowed him to get in the bigger actors and then obviously create a film of this stature. So first, I wanted to start off with Dylan.
Yeah.
I at the time of suggesting this film, I mean, I already knew I enjoyed it.
Okay.
But this film is very much set in almost just one location, and it's based
Right.
almost entirely on dialogue.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't know where you would sit with this, so can you give me sort of like a
Okay.
little view from your point?
Right. So here's where the episode goes downhill, and here's where I personally get cancelled. So prior to this, a few months ago, I had watched what's that other Quentin Tarantino movie that everyone says good? Pulp Fiction.
Pulp Fiction, yeah.
So
Are
I'd
you
watched
about
Pulp
to
Fiction.
rip on Pulp Fiction?
Now-
Oh god.
Now,
Are you actually about to rip on Pulp Fiction?
No. Hear me out. So
I'm hearing you out.
when I watched Pulp Fiction because everyone told me, oh, it's Quentin Tarantino at one of his best, classic
Yeah,
movie.
debatable.
I've heard a lot about this movie in general,
Yeah.
right? I watched it and I was bored shitless, right? There were entire scenes of them just chatting shit about burgers and that.
Oh dear.
What?
So when I watched this, the first thing I said to my roommate was, I hope this isn't like his other movie, Pulp Fiction.
Right.
And it was worse.
Oh no. Oh god, Dylan, why are you doing this? You're cancelled, bro.
I've never been... I'll give you a brief overview of my thoughts on this movie. I've never been so bored in my fucking life.
Jeez.
Right.
Oh my god.
That's my... Oh no, what have I done? That's my view. That's my brief overview, Brad.
Okay.
Yeah. Do you want to move on to Adam?
Adam, yeah.
All right, I'll step in then. I
Please,
kind of
save me.
get where Dylan's coming from his point of view. I mean, he didn't like climax.
Just from his point of view, this is.
He's
Yeah.
not a fan. He's not a fan of pretentious filmmakers, as we found out.
Dylan's not a fan of dialogue. Let's put it that way.
Nah.
I don't like
And
dialogue.
Quentin Tarantino is definitely a pretentious filmmaker. He's up his
Yes.
own arse.
He is.
It's very self-indulgent, and I can understand why you would be bored with the dialogue scenes. But from my point of view, they're not boring at all. They're captivating to me. Not purely, but because of the writing and the actors as well. Whenever the actors are on screen, I'm just like engaged with what they're saying. And all of the actors, especially Harvey Keitel and Steve Buscemi as well, bring so much character to those people that when they're having long dialogue scenes, I'm not thinking this is going on too long. I'm thinking, Jesus Christ, these guys are good. Like, I believe what's happening right now. And the film, to me, like you said about Pulp Fiction being regarded as his best film or one of his best films, I've always preferred Reservoir Dogs, probably because of that reason, because of the acting sort of prowess on display.
Yeah. So, Dylan, was you also particularly not really enjoying the part where it was just set within a warehouse?
No. I hated it.
See, I love that.
I'm bored.
I love
it's
films
boring.
where it's about characters, like grey moral characters engaging in a certain location. and it's all geared around people double crossing, and they've got to like solve a problem. You know, did you not find it intriguing?
No, it didn't like capture my attention at all. From the beginning, right, from the beginning where dude's bleeding out, right? I was like, damn, this is mad. Like, there's blood everywhere. They're in like some sort of car scene. They're running away from police, maybe. And then they get to the warehouse, and that's where my brain switched off.
Right.
Because all it was they walk in one room, they talk, then they walk somewhere else, and then they talk, and then it switches scenes to another guy, then they talk.
Yeah, but they're not just talking.
They are just talking.
They're laying out the plot rather than showing the action scene, like the actual heist. You can get everything that happens from the heist just from the dialogue scene.
It's like reading a book.
Exactly. Yeah. There we go.
But
this
Dylan
is my problem.
hates reading books, bro.
It's taken me 4 weeks to read 20 pages because I just can't be bothered. But also, if I wanted to, so this movie is about this diamond heist that goes on, right?
Yeah.
And the blowback of after the diamond heist, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
If I wanted to listen to people talking about, I'd listen to a fucking audiobook.
Oh my god, I hate this guy already.
Yeah,
Right, Brad?
okay.
I think you should say what you think of the film then, because obviously you chose this film.
Yeah.
For me, I really enjoy this film. Purely because throughout the film there was great acting. I really enjoyed sort of like the banter back and forth between people, the character development or the character arcs, you could say, and also just there was a lot of there's confusion, there was build, there was an ending that sort of made you go, oh man, it's not going to have a happy ending. So for me, it's sort of built in a way that I enjoy. Because one thing I hate about films is happy after endings, right?
Yeah.
Where everyone's sort of like, oh look, yay, he got away with the diamonds, and everyone's
like
happy,
we said
yay.
with Pirates of the Caribbean.
Yeah, exactly. See, in this film, that's not the case, and I really enjoyed that. And sort of the way it progressed is also just how I really enjoyed it as well. And some of the particular characters I really enjoyed as well. So obviously you've got Mr. White, Mr. Orange. They're also very good characters. Mr. Pink, was like say you say Mr. Jemmy, also very good. I wanted to actually talk about Mr. Blonde though, right? Because for me, right, to build his character in the way that he was such a psycho and he was just like a nut job. You're looking at him and he's just pretty chill. He's like, yeah, whatever. I'll shop a bunch of people.
Like he's genuinely just pure like, psycho,
fucked in the head.
And then when they all leave like the warehouse. Oh, by the way, the warehouse is actually a closed down morgue.
I read that.
Yeah, and you know the scene where they pick up Mr. Orange, nice guy, he goes and picks him up.
Yeah.
That's actually just the upstairs in the morgue.
Yeah, I saw that. They made the apartment upstairs because they just needed to save money, basically.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
Yeah. So,
cool. That's cool.
When he was talking to the police officer, and he was just like, "Oh, I'm not going to torture you because I need to get information out of you. I just enjoy torturing you."
Yeah,
literally. And then you're just like, "This guy is sick."
Brad, you could say he's the cat in the hat of Reservoir Dogs.
No,
the psychopath.
No, you can't bring Cat in the Hat into this. Go away! No, fuck off. Anyway, all right. So yeah, his character was like really intriguing to me. So yeah, there was just a lot of very good characters to sort of build this film for me. Because I don't think you could have. I mean, maybe you could have done this film with lesser actors. Would it have been as good?
I don't think so, to be fair. I feel like the script and the like being in one location only really works when you've got like elite actors, because everyone in this is putting like their best effort into it. I think you said your like favorite character was Mr. Blonde or whatever. I think Mr. Pink is my favorite character because I just think that would be me in this situation. Literally, I would be freaking out. You share the same
facial hair, though.
Yeah,
yeah, that too as well. I do look a bit like it. But it's like he's the guy who's just completely pissed off and panicking the whole time. And when he's like, yelling at Mr. White, he's like, "Why the fuck did you tell him his name?"
He's the one that brings a bit of common sense to this, all though, doesn't he?
Yeah, he makes sense. Yeah. He's the only one who kind of is normal almost out of them. Yeah,
and I think that works so well with Steve Buscemi because like just his character, he like looks like just someone who they're gonna bully. He's like a little
Yeah.
rat.
He looks like a smackhead. I mean,
Yeah.
But that would literally be me. I'd be like panicking and deciding I want to run away as soon as possible. Like, I'm fucking getting out of it.
Fuck's
So
sake,
Dylan,
man.
who was your favorite character?
So okay, so my favorite character was, as you said, Mr. Pink, because he was. I felt like he was in every scene. He just felt like a person, you know.
Yeah.
Like everyone else felt like characters in this big movie, but he felt like just a regular kind of person, in like one of us in that situation.
Yeah.
Like, we've just fucking got away from the cops. Why the hell are we arguing about something in a warehouse? Let's just go.
Definitely. He's like integral to the whole film as well, because without that voice of reason, everyone would just be like sort of this suave, smooth killer character, you know? So yeah, I agree with that.
Yeah, there's one thing I wanted to bring up as well, is that in returns to the story, because I'm not going to call it a perfect film, because again, it'd be hard to call any film a perfect film. But there was some holes that I wanted to talk about as well, though.
Okay.
So when it comes to building the character of Mr. Orange, who is obviously a undercover police officer, it doesn't really build his character as to how he really worked his way into getting into this group. If I'm honest.
It did a little bit.
It did a little bit, but I
Not
don't see how. Not convincingly to me, because just because he went to a club with some mob boss and he told him a story about how he walked into, a fake story about how he walked into a toilet with some weed. I mean, it didn't do enough for me to build his character as to be able to infiltrate this.
See, I think, Brad, that's more just you're not shown what you don't necessarily need to see.
No, and again, that's part of the when they did the whole diamond heist. The idea was that they didn't want to show you the diamond heist so they could progress it through the story. But I don't feel like they did enough to sell that part of the story to me.
That's fair enough. Yeah, I did feel like after you get the reveal of Mr. Orange being the undercover cop, that sort of reaches a climax, and then the following sort of 20 minutes of flashback to him does go on a little bit long. Especially, as you said, with the story of him like running into the police and stuff. I think because you've just hit like a big climactic point and you're sort of waiting for it to escalate further, that sort of flashback to me slowed it down a bit.
Yeah, I understand that. But also as well is that the one thing I just didn't want Mr. Blonde to die. I'm not gonna lie to you. I didn't want him to die. I wanted to see how much further he was.
Psychopath.
I mean, I wanted to see how much further he was going to go. I mean, no, I get that he had to, but I mean,
he would have blown up the entire place. Yeah,
like when he's pouring gasoline on him, that's genuinely like you're kind of cringing at the time. He's like so like hyper violent.
Yeah, that scene I quite enjoyed. I enjoyed that whole like
the weird dancing.
He's fucking So he's fucking this guy up. He's cutting his ear off and pouring gasoline into his bleeding ear. And he's just dancing around to a great song.
Yeah, as well. About that song, I've had that stuck in my head since we listened to the film.
Same.
Since we watched the film, sorry.
Did you know Tarantino only wanted that film in the soundtrack? Like he basically wrote that scene just because he wanted that song. But I was trying to work out while we was watching that whether this came out before or after American Psycho. Because there's quite a similar scene in American Psycho with that use
American Psycho was later, wasn't it?
I think it might have been, So I was trying to work out who was influenced by who, but it's obviously...
I think it is later.
Yeah, probably, because Christian Bale probably would have been too young back then. But yeah, like there's a similar scene in that where you've got the music playing and him dancing around before he's about to kill someone. So, you know.
Okay.
It's just to show how much of a cold psychopath he is, basically.
Yeah.
And he's like sipping on a soda from Taco Bell.
Amazing.
Which apparently was like Michael Madsen just decided he was going to go Taco Bell to character develop him. And he was just like, I'm just going to have a soda because that's what my character would do. And it works so well, to be fair.
Yeah. Yeah.
Do you remember the part where they was asking, did you forget your French fries with that? He was like, no, I already had those.
Yeah. I swear that was ad-libbed as well, because you could see like a bit of a smirk on his face when he said that.
Yeah. He was proud of himself.
See, this is what you should do with ad-libs, Orlando Bloom. If you're watching Reservoir Dogs, this is your cue.
Orlando Bloom, if you're listening to our podcast, take our advice.
Yeah.
So again, as well with the budget of 1.2 to 1.5 million, it grossed 2.8 in America and 6.5 in the UK, which I thought was quite interesting.
Yeah, it was
So
massive over here.
it did more than double than America in the UK, and obviously the UK is significantly smaller than America.
Yeah.
But for me, this is one of those films that I've always heard about.
Yeah.
I mean, I was growing up and I was hearing about this film. I mean,
in pop culture as well, I've heard a lot about it, especially the song. Like you get the song and like some of the scenes and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But I'd never put it together up until now that I've watched this movie, you know?
Yeah, the amount of times it's been like redone over the years, like especially the slow-mo walking with the song, like that's been parodied in like every TV show ever, basically.
Yeah.
So Dylan, I want to ask, what do you think this film could have been done better for you?
Oh, do we have enough time? No.
Oh my God.
No. I'm being that was me being controversial. I understand why people like this kind of movie and this movie in specific, because it like builds a story, it shows you all these characters. But for me personally, my brain doesn't allow me to watch a movie like this unless there's bright flashing lights. You know, like SpongeBob has ruined me. I need a movie that I can visually like watch, you know, like obviously I'm watching this movie, but it's most of the time 2, 3, 4 people just standing there talking. Like the first scene of them sitting at the coffee table, that was 9 minutes long.
And
that was 9 minutes.
It didn't feel like 9 minutes to me.
Nah, but in that scene, Dylan, there's
a
lot of subtle hints of like what's to come. I suppose it is kind of similar to Climax, what we were talking about last week, where there's like hints, but you might not have been paying attention to that. But there's like when he asks who didn't tip, like Mr. Orange is the first person to rat him out, so that's like a clue as to he's the undercover cop.
That's fair.
And you also see like the dynamic between Mr. White and Joe, where he's like kind of getting a bit sick of his shit, you know, he's taking his book.
Oh yeah,
there's a lot in that scene.
See, maybe I'd need to watch it again to appreciate it a bit more. But yeah, for me personally,
that's gonna make you enjoy the film, considering that it's not really your bag. This is it.
Yeah, it's not. I might even just pay less attention to it.
That's fair enough. Basically, Dylan's got like ADHD. He can only watch superhero movies.
I do.
Look, we'll go for Superman versus whatever it fucking is later.
Batman versus Superman.
Batman versus Superman.
Right.
No, that is much more boring than Reservoir Dogs. Let's be honest.
Oh yeah, totally. I wasn't. Yeah. But no, genuinely, I understand why it's a good movie and what makes it good. I understand it, but for me, I can't get on board with it. It's boring, you know.
So what do you think did make it a good movie then? What did you like the most out of the movie?
So there were specific parts to the movie I really enjoyed. So number one was the toilet scene.
Yeah,
that whole toilet scene was amazing. I really liked the whole, like, he's telling the story, but the police are there, so he's in the story in his mind. And stuff like that. That entire scene, I loved it. It was great.
I liked
stuff
what
like
they did
that.
with some of the camera shots around as well. I mean, like from the camera shot from down the hallway where they're in the toilet.
Oh, okay, yeah. Oh, yeah. Some of the cinematography was cool. I like the part when they're like talking and they're pretty much very simple shot. They're just circling around the people talking, but it allows you to see everyone's faces while they're talking to each other. You know, stuff like that. I appreciated that.
There's not really anyone out of frame, which I really enjoy.
So. No, I mean, even from his debut film, you could tell that Tarantino, when it comes to like the technical aspects, he is a genius. Like, it's so well shot, all of it.
Yeah.
So what about you, Brad? Like, what was your sort of favorite aspect of the film?
Well, like I say, I really enjoyed Mr. Blonde's character, and then just the development as it goes on, because I want to move sort of more towards the ending. And like I say, I don't like happy ever after endings. And even when it gets to the very last part where Mr. Pink takes off with a bag of diamonds, right? You can still hear in the background outside there's something going on with the police, so you don't know if he actually gets away or not, and it doesn't sound like he does.
No,
I don't think he did, because
no, he didn't. I think it's canon that you can hear him in the background say, "I've got shot," and then you can hear him being arrested. So even though he sort of like got away, and you might think he's left if you don't pay attention, he's probably going to spend like life in jail now.
Yeah,
and then also you just got this like standoff at the end. You got your main characters. You got Big Man Joe walk up in the building like,
Yeah.
yo, Wagwan, shut your mouth. This is a police officer. And Mr. White's like, no.
Yeah.
No, he's cool. Don't worry about this kid. He's already going to die anyway. No need to shoot him. He's just like, nah, I'm killing this fucker. And then they all just have a little standoff. Do you know what me and Adam were saying when I was watching it? It's like Mr. White manages to shoot both of them.
That pissed me off. No, I was actually annoyed at that because, like, first of all, that guy was shot 12 hours before or some shit, and he's just chilling there bleeding. These guys got shot. One of them got shot.
There. Well, no, because they explain in the story about where he's been shot. You know, it's going to take a long time for him to bleed out.
No, that is accurate. Like in all movies, I hate it when people get shot and then they're immediately dead. Like if you get shot in the stomach,
like those two guys,
you will die after a couple of days, but it's going to be from blood loss. They actually had a paramedic there to decide how much blood he should be losing, like each scene, which is kind of cool. So you're wrong about that.
One thing I thought was kind of weird though is how much he was like throwing himself around whilst he was being shot. I mean, surely if you've been shot in the gut, you're not going to move that much.
Yeah, but then that's shock, isn't it? Like if you've been shot, you're not going to be like, oh right, I'm just going to chill. It'll be better. I thought his acting specifically when he got shot there was really, really good.
But yeah, back onto Mr. White double killing like the fucking
man.
Yeah. What was that annoyed you, Dylan?
I just didn't like the scene. The scene was, just didn't like the scene in general. Like, why the hell? Like, I understand this character, Mr. White, the old dude?
Yeah, Keitel.
Yeah, I understand, like, his character's, like, compassionate or some shit? Or likes this guy? But, like, honestly, would you really double-cross two fucking mob bosses to save this guy's life?
It's about integrity.
Yeah, no, I do actually agree with Dylan. Point.
I don't get it.
I think his character was a bit too defending of Mr. Orange. Like, I get it that he's kind of like a good guy, really, but he's just doing these crimes because he can. But that wasn't developed as much as I think it should have been, their relationship.
Well, the way it was their relationship is they spent a lot of time together before this heist actually happened, and the point of this heist was that the guys weren't meant to know each other.
Yeah, true. Like I think that was a bit inconsistent, like his relationship with him.
Yeah, because like before, so when they're talking, when he first got shot and the Mr. Pink came in, it was like, oh yeah, we just got talking. I told him his name, like we told each other's name and stuff. That is not going to lead you to double cross the mob boss and his son and shoot him just to protect this dude.
So if we take a look at the film in the whole, what negatives do you have to say?
Adam, you can go first, mate. All right, I'll go first.
Dylan, you've got your negative thoughts.
Right. So this isn't a major thing, right? For me, well, it is. It pissed me off. What's his name? Mr. Orange. Okay.
Yeah.
I hated 90% of his acting.
What?
90% of it pissed me off. Oh my god. He was all right. So we'll go to the scene where he's in the car and he's being shot. There's blood everywhere, right?
Yeah.
Now, I know he's been shot, all right? And there's no real way to act like you've been shot. Mm-hmm. But also, it felt emotionless when he was like, I'm going to die. I'm going to die.
100%.
And then, like, his face doesn't change at all. When he talks, when he acts.
What?
No,
100%.
You are on crack. I'm sorry. You've been smoking a pipe right now.
Are we talking about just the car scene, or are we talking about through the entire film?
Throughout most of it, especially when especially the parts where he's been shot, those scenes are just, I felt zero. I felt nothing coming off of him.
What? You just said, though, his face doesn't change. He's like contorting his whole body and like his face is changing the whole time. What are you talking about? If
Absolutely
anything,
not.
Also, he's not underacting.
Later on in the film, you can clearly see his face is a lot whiter as well.
Yeah, he's grimacing and like he looks like he's been shot.
He may look like the makeup artist may have looked like he's been shot, but he certainly wasn't acting. It felt so fake to me. Honestly,
I can't.
It took me out every time.
About Tim Roth right now.
I dislike Tim Roth
great
anyway.
In this film,
he's awful.
Oh, wow.
Oh,
I completely
jeez.
disagree. Up to this
I've
point,
seen him in
Dylan.
like 6 things, and he's bad in all of them.
Oh my god!
Jeez.
I
Is
can't
this
even
not a
believe
common
what.
thing?
No, this is not a
Do
common
people
thing at
rate
all.
him?
What?
Do people think he's a good actor?
Yes.
Oh my
Well, I
god,
mean, I
I
do. I
hate
think this is his
everything.
best performance. To be fair,
Are you kidding?
like in
joking?
other films, he does come across a bit stiff. In this, I don't see that at all. He is giving his all. I genuinely believe him when he's in the car. That scene that you said is like terrible acting. I 100%
Okay, well,
disagree.
what about when he's like telling the story and he's trying to he's telling the story about how
That was
he's
fine.
running the brick of like marijuana, Did you not at least enjoy
That
that
was-
part of the performance?
I didn't. It was fine. It was a part of the movie. It flowed. It was fine. I didn't
Right.
have anything to say about it. It was just part of the movie for me.
I
Those
can't
scenes.
believe that though. There's not bad acting in this entire film. One thing Tarantino does really well is he knows how to direct actors. Like you look at Christoph Waltz and Leonardo DiCaprio, they get like their best
Yeah.
performances in his films. And
Yeah.
like this film, I can't believe you're saying that Tim Roth's that bad. That's crazy, man.
Honestly, I just can't. Everything I've ever seen him in, granted, it may have only been like 5 or 6 things. It's the exact same. His face is always just plain. He delivers his lines with the exact same tone. It's boring every single time.
The same tone. Hold on a second. He's been shot. Yeah. How is this the same tone?
No, it's
you're acting
honestly
like he's laying there and he's like, I've been shot.
That's exactly what it felt like.
He's writhing around in pain. Like I can understand if you were saying like, oh, he was overacting. He was like chewing the scenery. He was a bit over the top. I would understand. But you saying he's the same tone? Like, what are you talking about?
No, I disagree with both of you.
Did you watch the wrong film? Did you watch like a remake or something by Zack Snyder?
No, all right. He was my biggest problem in the film. Just him in general.
Okay, Adam, what's your negative?
Okay, yeah. My negative is basically why this film is not like a 5-star film to me. Obviously, we'll get on to ratings, but this particular thing, and me and you discussed this a bit, Brad. It's something that Tarantino does in all of his films, and I don't know why he does it. It's just suspect. But why does he use racism in all of his films like this? Like, I get films when there's characters who are racist and they're saying racist things.
Yeah,
and
I still think about this film. There's no actual need for racism.
No, it's completely unnecessary. Like the characters themselves, you don't need them to be racist to know that they're criminals. You don't need Mr. Blonde's cutting someone's ear off. Him saying the N-word is not gonna add anything to it. It's completely unnecessary, and it does ruin those scenes for me because they're like having a laugh, and I'm just like, this is just so tone deaf.
You just don't need it. In the car scene where they're talking
especially
about
that scene.
Black women. Is it? I don't think Nice Guy Eddie says it. I think he stays pretty quiet, and then when he does talk about black women, he just says black women. He doesn't use the N words. So for me, it did feel a little uncomfortable in that situation because I feel like he didn't want to say it.
Yeah, but then even it's just like, are we meant to be laughing at that scene? Because it's just cringy and horrible, and there's really no need for it, especially when every single person in this film is white. The director and writer are white, and it's just like, no. If I'm watching a Spike Lee film, like obviously I understand they're going to be using terms, but no, you don't need to do that. It's just unnecessary.
No, I do agree with you there.
I completely agree with that.
Yeah, and
it made me uncomfortable.
Something that Tarantino does a lot as well, and it's kind of like, bro, why do you need to do this every film? Like, are you okay?
That's one thing that we brought up when we were watching it as well. It's like completely out of the blue. Like, I understand that these guys are bad guys, but they don't need to drop the N-bomb every time.
Because the thing is, when you watch Django, you kind of understand the racism.
You understand the context of why he's writing that word.
You're not going to sit there and be like, oh yeah, this was a great part of the performance.
No.
I loved how they used the racism. But it's part of the performance because it's accurate, right?
Yeah.
This was not accurate, so
no,
at all. Not in the slightest.
Okay, so Brad, do you want to talk about final thoughts then?
Yeah, we'll go on to final thoughts. So for me personally, I really enjoyed this film. As we've spoken, there are odd things that sort of let it down in some respects, but overall, I feel like the praise it has got is something that has been well deserved. And also, considering this was a debut film, originally with only a 30K budget, I'm not going to say that was bad how they ended up with a multi-million-pound film.
Definitely.
Yeah.
So overall, I would like to sort of give this. I think I'll give it. I've told between 4 and 4.5, but I think I'm going to stick with 4. I think 4 is a fair evaluation for me. So yeah,
Adam? Yeah. For me, the only aspect I dislike about this film is that racism aspect, because it's just unnecessary and it makes me uncomfortable, but not in an intentional way. It's just like horrible, it's just nasty. To me, the film is just purely those actors. Like, I love seeing Harvey Keitel and Steve Buscemi, Michael Madsen in like his best ever role, just like really going for it, and I believe all of the characters. And I really like that it's a heist movie where you don't actually see the heist. It's different, because it's not just going for shock value, like, oh, here's the heist and look at the aftermath. I really like that you get breadcrumbs of what happened and it progresses the story. And as I said, I like films where people are stuck in a place and they've got to sort something out, So for me, this is one of Tarantino's best films. I think it avoids the overindulgence he has in some of his later films. And yeah, I had it rated as 4.5 stars, Letterboxd. And watching it again, that hasn't changed. I think it's almost perfect. You could have made a few changes, but obviously there's some aspects I don't like. So yeah, 4.5 stars.
Cool. So no, I understand what you guys have said, about like the movie. I understand why people enjoy it, why it's a good movie, all of that. But it's not for me. It's just not for me. The scenes of I was just talking about, Mr. Orange, didn't affect the overall like score for me. It's just that's one thing out of the entire movie that kind of pissed me off. But the movie for me, I understand that it's telling a story, but it didn't capture me at all because I couldn't get into the movie. So I gave it 2 out of 5. I understand there were some parts of this movie I really enjoyed, but
Daniel.
But yeah, I couldn't, and also the movie's only 1 hour 34 minutes, I think.
Yeah.
It felt like a lifetime to me.
Oh my god, jeez.
So yeah,
this guy's gonna get us cancelled. I'm sorry. Next episode we're turning up with someone else.
Oh my days! What?
So yeah, that's my thoughts.
2 stars. Oh my days.
Okay, I don't really know where to lead on from there.
The film is a classic. All right, let's just say that. Film. Even if you don't like it, you can understand.
I can appreciate.
Right, Dylan, you're wrong.
So I'm wrong, but we'll move on. Right.
Right. So Dylan, our album discussion this week. I might be a bit more aggressive now that you've said that.
My. Adam, just lay it on me. Right. So
I'm coming out swinging.
I've chosen Paramore's second studio album, Riot. So this was released in 2007. So when this was released, I was maybe about 11, but I only started listening to it when I was like maybe 13 or so. Yeah. So I was, a bit of an emo back then. The main reasons I chose this album is because, one, I'm a big Paramore fan, and I haven't listened to any of their old stuff since uni, which is a while back now. It's a couple of years. So kind of, it was just a random choice at that. But also, so I like Paramore, but I don't really know you guys, if you guys have ever listened to them. I know Adam hasn't. Brad may have dabbled here and there.
I've heard songs, obviously.
I've heard
the singles.
Yeah,
I've never listened to a full Paramore album before.
Yeah.
Nah.
So I chose this, right? And I don't really know why, because they have better albums. This is not their best album.
Really?
But for me, this is the album I've probably listened to the most in terms of like when I was younger, because again, so that I used to listen to them when I was maybe 13 years old. So some of the songs kind of relate to back when, you know, I was that young.
You was the angsty teen.
I was.
Like, they understand me.
Yeah,
Mom, Dad, 100%. It's not a phase.
100%. That was exactly me.
To be fair, when I first met you, you did have purple hair, so it's kind
there
of
we
starting
go.
to add up. I'm putting the pieces together.
A little fruity tooty.
There we go. But yeah, so when they wrote this, they were only like 16, 17. So you can understand where you can understand where the angstiness comes
like
from.
We
you know,
spoke in our group chat earlier, Dylan. Age doesn't mean shit in music.
Yeah,
no, age
Joey
doesn't
Badass
mean shit.
Released 1999 when he was 16. You know.
No, but that's the thing. I'm not saying. No, I'm not saying that it's an age thing. I'm saying about what they're talking about.
Basically, you're saying this is a teenage love breakup song, yeah?
This is it's the topics of the
this
thing.
Is your teenage romance right here.
Right.
This is the album I listen to probably more than any / this band. So we'll go through it. This album was very short. It's 38 minutes long.
Right.
So
was it?
It was only 38 minutes long.
I thought it was about 4.5 hours.
All the songs were like maybe 2.5 minutes, 3 minutes.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we'll start off. So Adam, what was your first impressions of this album going in?
Right. So first impressions before even starting the album. Right.
Yeah.
Paramore. I'm aware of them. I've heard Misery Business probably like 10 years ago. You know, when that whole pop punk wave was infecting the world. Sorry, I mean
probably longer than 10 years ago.
Yeah, probably like 15, 20 years ago now.
Yeah,
so you had like Blink 182 and Sum 41, all that, you know. When I was like 10 or like 11, I was probably listening to that shit. You know, I was bumping Blink 182, thinking it was the coolest shit in the world.
Don't get me wrong, I used to love this. Like,
I mean, we all did. Let's be honest, we all did. We were all walking around in black skinny jeans, like thinking we were little emo boys.
Skinny jeans?
That's me now.
I was lose.
I was wearing boot cuts. I was wearing boot cuts. 100%.
And I was aware of Misery Business and stuff, and it's a very catchy song. So it's kind of like when you suggested this album, that song kept coming to my head.
Yeah.
And I was dreading it. Right.
Oh, okay, that's fair. I mean, I expected that.
There's certain genres that I just will not listen to ever again. You know, you had the dubstep phase, which is dead now.
Hey, listen. Whoa.
There was some good things that came out of the dubstep phase.
Yeah, but you know what I mean? And then you have pop punk, which it was of its time and it should have been left in its time. Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
No one should be listening to this shit now.
Hold that thought.
Shouts out, Harry.
Brad, what about you? What are your thoughts?
All right, so obviously I'm very aware of Paramore. I've seen them live. I've never listened to an album, but I've caught most singles. Okay.
Yeah.
And they've had a bit of a wave throughout this entire period of time because they came in pop punk. They had a bit of a maturer phase. Then they went full on pop. And at no point did I really hate anything until it got to the pop phase. When
that's fair. Like
the most recent Paramore,
After Laughter.
I cannot deal with. For me, that
it's
stuff was
fair.
Awful.
It's fair.
But the pop punk stuff, I never hated. Right. I'm not a pop punk genre fan.
No.
Okay. In the slightest. Right. I mean, I will say if I like a song because I'm not going to say that all songs are bad. There are some good catchy songs that come out of it. I mean, I'm not a Blink 182 fan. But I can tell you when I enjoy a Blink 182 song. But this album, my issue with this was that I was so unsure at what point, like in time, I was going to be listening to Paramore. And obviously you got the big old emo fringes. You've got like the Riot written all over the place, like it would be on like your notepad at school. And instantly I was like, okay, this was clearly written by 14-year-olds.
It literally was.
So, where I stand at the moment is that I had to listen to this 3 times, right?
3 times?
Because my issue is that I'm still undecided on how I feel about it.
Wow.
Right. And this, I'm not, just so we're clear, this is not like a I love this album kind of review, right?
Oh, no, I know.
This is a I
hate
kind
it
of
or
like
really
it.
hate it.
I kind of like it, and then it goes to actually this is complete trash. Then it
Yeah.
goes to of its time, this might have been okay. To well, I'm not going to listen to this now. So
Yeah.
I was caught in several minds, and as we go through the tracks, I'll just be able to describe a little more as to how I was thinking about that track as we was going through it. But I mean, some of these songs I have heard before. Some of these songs I actually used to really like when I was younger. You know, if I go back 10 years, I could tell you some of these songs I actually quite enjoyed. But listening to it now, it's a bit different.
See, on that point, Brad, as well, I just want to say, I might actually surprise you with what I'm going to say about some of these songs when we go track by track, because that was my initial reaction, like, oh, fuck, I don't want to listen to this shit. Kept putting it off. But you never know.
He's teasing us there. I reckon he's teasing us. But but no, so my initial reaction for this was when I was listening through, it was kind of like, why am I listening to this? Because again, I've said it multiple times. This used to be probably one of my most listened to albums, but going back, I don't know. It doesn't hit.
I do think the Paramore album after this one, which would have been the third album, I feel like that's the one for me that had the best singles. So that's the part that they matured a little into. So for me, this was very young. This was very I don't know. We'll go through it.
We'll go through it. Right. So let's start with the first song. For a pessimist, I'm pretty optimistic.
Edgy.
Yeah, Adam, go for it. Take us away. Come on.
Right, straight in. The guitaring was really simple and generic on this song.
No. The guitaring on every song,
every song.
Right. So I'm just talking straight away. This was my first impression when I was listening to the initial riff. Right. It was just like, get the guitar and then just strum it for a bit. You know, I was like, fuck's sake, here we go. Right.
Chords.
Chords. Just
Yeah.
chords, right? I like the drums. The drums are actually pretty good on this song. They were like decent. The chorus was really annoying. Genuinely annoying. Okay, so at this first song, I'm already like, oh, fuck's sake, this is what I was expecting, right? But she's a decent singer. I knew that straight away.
Yeah.
You can tell compared to other pop punk people, like I mentioned, Blink-182. I can't listen to Tom DeLonge's voice at all. It just grates on me.
Yeah.
You can tell she actually is a good singer if she was doing something else, you know? And the lyrics sound like a preteen edgelord. It's like, I don't want to go to the prom music.
Yeah. See, I'll build on that. Basically, this song and pretty much the entire album is generic pop punk.
Yeah.
So this is their second album. The first one was different to this, but this is very generic, same chords, kind of same pattern drum beat, kind of, you know, follows the same formula.
Yeah,
I wouldn't say that for the whole album, though.
No, not for the whole album, but most. But this song used to be like one of my top 3 favorite songs of all time.
Jesus Christ.
Because it was just back in the day again. So everything I'm saying is from like my 13-year-old me. It just slapped. You know, it was it was like the message of it was like, you know, someone's being negative, but you know, you can push through it, kind of thing. And when you're back, when you're a little edgy emo, it slaps your soul, you know. Brad, what about you?
So for me, this is just such a standard pop punk song.
It
was basic. It was everything that genre was. You'd heard this song a million times done by everyone in that genre. And the only highlight for me were the vocals were okay. But they lacked as well because of how bad the rest of the song was.
Definitely. Like her vocals stood out, but the song wasn't good because of it.
Yeah. It's fair. So we'll move on to the next track. That's What You Get. What I think I'll do is I'll give you like a brief kind of like breakdown of the meaning of the song, kind of.
Right.
That's what I think I'll do.
Bro, I think you can get the meaning.
That's the thing. So it's very basic, but But yeah, it's about this song basically about like liking someone, and you don't really, you don't know if you should, but you do it anyway. That's what it's about.
That's deep, bro. That is deep. Like I didn't think of that. That's what you get when you let your heart win.
There we go.
Went over my head top,
honestly. But no, so you're listening to it when you're 13, you're like, this slaps. When I'm listening to it now, what the fuck is this about? At this point, I was,
You gotta say it is a little bit catchy though.
It's a good song. It's a catchy song. Yeah, it's a good live song. They play this live.
Oh my god,
it's easy to remember, isn't it?
Yeah, it's one of those ones where the crowd sings along.
Yeah,
that's what they kind of use it for.
Right.
Yeah,
right,
Adam.
Yeah, this is the second worst song on the album. Straight in. All right.
Okay.
It had some funky segments at first, which I was kind of feeling.
Yeah.
Then it just got fucking terrible, right? Whoa, why there woes again? I just wrote whoa no. It sounds like a Taylor Swift song, but with guitars.
Okay.
Don't at me. That is 100% true.
That's fair. I can't argue.
The hook is disgusting. Just make it stop. It's so annoying. Like you say, it's catchy, but it's like that earworm where it just keeps going. Though. It's catchy in an annoying way.
When you let your heart win, you're like,
right.
Yeah,
I just wrote the chorus is pure cringe, but the verses are okay.
That's fair.
Basically it.
Brad, what about you, bro?
It's just another standard pop punk song, isn't it? Really?
Yeah.
That's all you can. Give it a little bit of utility, but at the end of the day, the chorus it's still a pop punk song.
It's so made me angry.
It's the one thing I had to say about it again was the vocals again were not bad. There was a few backing vocals that also made it like a little better. Like the vocals sounded a bit more fuller as well. Other than that, I don't have much more to say about it. I mean, I remember this song from when I was young. I used to enjoy this song, but I don't enjoy it so much now. So.
You say the backing vocals made it better. Like that chanting bit was fucking terrible.
I'm not talking about that particular bit.
Where
they're all like,
it's like when they're actually
garden
singing.
party when you're at the barbecue and you're like, look, that's what you get.
It's so cringy. There's no other word to describe it.
Bro, that's the thing. All the music back in the day that is in this genre is just cringe.
Oh yeah,
it's awful.
It's garden party prom night music,
Yeah. The next song, Hallelujah. Right.
Right.
I want to go straight in. Oh, okay. Adam, go for it. Take it away. You go first.
I heard Brad's displeasure there.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna surprise you here. I actually like this song.
What?
Yeah.
Right. This song, I wrote like one word reviews on all of my songs, and what I wrote for this was indie. It sounds a bit indie, Do you know what I like? Okay. Guitar, like Telecaster guitar noises. Do you remember like the 2000s indie music? Where you had that specific like block party stroke sounding guitar.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Whiny guitar, right? I'm a sucker.
There was more of that later on in the album as well.
Which we'll get onto. But this I preferred the opening riff this time. It actually sounded like he was playing guitar, not just strumming it. I really liked the guitar blending in with the singing. And this song has more weight behind it. It actually feels like there's like a purpose to this song rather than just let's turn up and play two notes and just say some shit, And it reminded me it was very like early to mid 2000s indie music, which I'm a fan of. So this one was all right to me,
Yeah. Brad, go for it.
Yeah. Okay. For me, this song was just fucking annoying. I thought the guitaring was horrible. I thought that introduction piece was just, it irritated me instantly. Like, it was so high pitched. It was just like, I was like, no, get that out of my ear. I was like, get that out of my ear. The vocals really annoyed me as well, right? And it wasn't because they were bad, right? It wasn't because they were bad, right? But it just felt wrong compared to what the music was, right?
Really?
And so when she was doing like the chorus, when she was singing Hallelujah, I was like, that's actually quite impressive.
Yeah.
But overall, the tone of the song made me hate it.
Wow.
And it didn't work for me. It sounds like they tried to blend two genres and it came out like an absolute fucking clusterfuck.
I don't agree.
As well, I felt like the song was too serious to try it. What they tried to do felt like it tried to be a serious song in a pop punk song, and for me that didn't work at all.
Fair.
It sounded like they tried to vocally make it serious but put it into a pop punk version, and for me it didn't work.
All right.
See, for me, I'm kind of like a blend of both of you, where for like this song is not one of my favorite Paramore songs, but it's one of the better songs on the album for me. It's a like what you said, Adam. It's got a bit more to it. It's like not just your generic like 2 chords drumming kind of, it's got a bit more something, a bit more weight to it.
It was different. The first 2 songs were just like, this is what
generic.
I thought the album was going to be. And then this one came on and I was like, you know what? I can't hate. This is all right.
Yeah. Right. Moving swiftly on. Misery Business. Now.
Yeah.
I'll go first on this one. I'll go first. So this is every Paramore fan either loves this song or hates this song. Right. I don't know why people would hate it, but for me personally, it bangs. It's for me personally, this is just this song is what Paramore used to be. Just angsty, fast, pop punk, edgy, just iconic. I'm gonna say iconic.
Iconic.
I'm going to say iconic. This is 100%.
This man was slagging off Reservoir Dogs half an hour ago, and now he's calling this song iconic.
Well, I would like to jump in, right? Because he is not entirely
right.
wrong.
Actually, I know this song, and I don't like
exactly.
Pop-punk,
Look, right. So you've got to at least argue that this song is very significant at a time, right? So iconic might be the wrong word to use.
I'll give you that.
It's very, very there, if you know what I mean. And the only thing I had to say about this song was because my issue with this song is that I'm going to be biased towards it, right?
Yeah.
Because back in the day, I used to play this song, right?
Of course you
did. 100%.
Because everyone played this song. That was my circle played this song, right? I mean, not you, Adam, but my other circle, right? It still bangs. I'm not gonna lie to you, it still bangs.
100%, 100%. Right.
I
want to defend. I want to defend my statement of iconic, because this song, if you go to any person between the ages of, let's say, 18 to 30, and you say, "Have you listened to pop punk? Do you know what this song is?" You play this song, they'll know that this is either a Paramore song.
I'll take that back. I agree. Actually, you're right.
I feel like this is the one of these songs that define the genre. I'd say that's what I want to say about it. Yeah.
Okay. Well, it's iconic then. That doesn't make it good. Right. You say it still slaps, right? This 100%. Is rock music for 15-year-old girls who secretly love Taste.
Again, I don't care. 10 years ago, I was banging this song out. So
you two are looking at it from a nostalgic perspective, right? And that's fine. But I'm just looking at it as someone who has heard this in passing, but has never really listened to the song, you know? So when I'm listening to it, it's fresh. It's catchy as fuck, right? I can't deny that. It was in my head before I'd even listened to it, you know?
Yeah.
That's why I agree it is iconic. But it's so annoying. It's just so annoying.
How
it's
so?
like one of them pop songs that you can't avoid, like Happy by Pharrell.
Oh, no.
That's iconic, right? It doesn't mean it's good. It's fucking terrible, right? This song, the only positive thing I wrote was Shorty is spitting bars. Because in the verses she was going in, bruv. It was like listening to fucking KRS-One. It was like Lupe Fiasco.
Shorty like a melody,
right? And I did like the sound of the guitar and the drums, like right. And there was a soft switch up as well that I didn't mind, but it only lasted sort of like 15 seconds. The rest of the song was just bad to me. Like, it's catchy and I remember it, but it's just so annoying.
That's fair. Again, for me, this is the Paramore song.
Yeah.
That's it. That's all I have to say about it. It's the song that everyone knows Paramore for. Mm-hmm. And I like it. It's great. It's a great song.
But also this song is the reason why I've never listened to Paramore. Because if all of this album was like this, then I would have been like, fuck no.
Do you know what? There's not many songs that are like this. There are not many Paramore songs.
This is still a pop punk song at the end of the day.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah.
100%. Yeah.
So I feel like the genre is very limited. So
there is not much you can do with 6 chords and one drum, you know?
You can't, there's not an awful lot of wiggle room there.
Yeah. All right. So we'll move on to the next song. So we've gone from Misery Business, that, you know, fast-paced, angsty song, to When It Rains. Brad, do you want to start with this one?
The vocals were all right to begin with, and then when we got to the chorus, it sounded fucking awful. I thought, like, I don't know, because from this point onwards, I started to really dislike the album, and that's because I felt like a lot of it had been very poorly mixed. This chorus in particular, right? Her voice sounded almost robotic. It didn't sound real, and I hated that. Because the one highlight of this album so far has been her vocal performance. And if you take that away, it just makes the whole thing a lot worse.
That's fair.
So for me, this song was absolute trash. As well, it keeps carrying on with the theme of relationships and breakups, and it just got boring by this point.
So I'll step in here. So this song is actually a bit deeper than that. So this song for me was one of those songs where I kind of, back in the day, this was one of my emo songs, like my sad boy songs, you know?
Yeah.
But no, this song was basically about how her friend committed suicide and like how she's dealing with the suicide and all that kind of stuff. So the song's got a lot of, it's very heavy for this album.
Yeah.
You know? I quite enjoyed the pace of it. I quite enjoyed this song because, again, it's not like many other Paramore songs. When Paramore do a slow song, it's heavy, you know, like this.
Yeah.
I quite enjoyed this one.
I didn't catch any of that, just quickly. Like, I didn't feel anything from that song.
That's fair.
Well, I'm about to disagree with everything Brad's just said, because basically everything Brad said, I said the opposite. I think this is the second best song on the album.
Fair.
And I really like the guitars and the drums. I said the vocals were really nice on this song.
There was nothing different about this song.
Like her singing was impressive on this song. And I even said, right, I got a bit of a foot tap going on, not gonna lie. Okay. I was ashamed of it, but you know, I had to give a bit of a bop going. Because again, this reminded me of more of an indie sound rather than a pop punk sound. And I really liked her voice on this. I literally said, like, she has a good vocal range.
The vocal performance within the verses was good, right?
Yeah.
The rest of the song was terrible.
See, I didn't mind. I liked the chorus on this. This is one of the only songs where I actually enjoyed the chorus.
But her voice didn't even sound real in the chorus.
Maybe that's why I liked it. I don't know.
That's fair.
But yeah, I gave this a 7 out of 10.
Damn, Adam.
Yeah, bro.
I was expecting
I
anything.
genuinely enjoyed it. And like Brad said, he started to hate the album from this point on. This made me actually sort of listen more and think, maybe this album's not as bad as I thought it was going to be.
Yeah. Yeah, for me, this song is one of, again, if you're an old school Paramore fan, this is one of the iconic songs of theirs. But no, I really enjoy this song. Just musically, lyrically. I don't listen to lyrics a lot, but from listening to this song so many times, you kind of pick up on it, you know? But yeah, we'll move on to Let the Flames Begin, right? I'll start with this one. So this song used to be probably my favorite song of all time for like a long time. It I don't know what it is about it. It's very generic. It's very, you know, that, but her vocals on this song are strong. Like, very strong. Like, it's a lot different to the regular pop punky singing she does. There's a lot of harder notes, longer notes, whatever. I thoroughly enjoy this song still. like even listening back to the album now. But yeah, that's my kind of take on this. We'll go to Adam next.
I actually agree with you. This is my joint favorite song on the album.
Yeah.
I literally wrote down, this is actually a good song I can't hate, because obviously I was coming into this album just planning to just slaughter it. Basically, I was just gonna come in and be like, Dylan, this is shit. But no, I really like this song. Like I prefer the verses to a chorus, but like the chorus wasn't annoying to me. I like, as you said about her voice in this song, I could genuinely feel like emotion when she was singing. I genuinely feel like she came across like she cared about what she was singing, whereas in like the single songs, it's just like, I'll just say this, you know.
Generic. Yeah.
Yeah, I thought the like guitaring and the intro segment were like really good.
Yeah.
And I like the subtle lead guitar, like there'd be like sort of one or two notes here and there throughout the verse. It was quite layered. And I really enjoyed that.
All right,
Here's
Brad,
where
what
Brad
about
disagrees.
Again, good vocal performance on the verses.
Great vocals.
That is the one thing about this album that I really enjoyed, right? Was that all of the verses had a very good vocal performance, right?
Yeah, I'd agree.
And pretty much every chorus let it down. Especially this one.
Wow.
Because again, I thought the chorus was awfully mixed. Again, she sounds robotic and awful. So it's just, I mean, this is going to be a recurring theme for most of what I say for the rest of this now. But again, good vocals within the verses, horrible at the chorus. The music I thought was, again, boring. The drum beat I'd heard a million times. So overall, again, this was the issue I was having. This is why I had to listen to the album 3 times. Was that there was every song there was something I enjoyed about it, which was pretty much just a vocal performance, and then every song had something I hated about it, right? Which is why it's so contrasting to me at the moment. And it's making it really hard for me to judge whether or not I could listen to the song again. And for the most of it, I'm finding no, I could not listen to the song again.
Right.
Fair enough. Damn, that's okay.
Brad's going in right now.
That goes against.
I genuinely thought I was going to be controversial here, but
no. Let the Flames Begin is probably one of the Paramore songs that everyone just as a fan base likes, and they've made a part 2 of it in one of their later albums, and it is, I'd say, twice as good.
Right.
Unbelievable. It is really good. But we'll move on to Miracle. So I'll start with this. I cannot remember listening to this song.
Yeah.
I've listened to this album so many times, and this is one of those songs that just never really hit with me. There's not a lot different about it. There's nothing that stood out. There's nothing like Misery Business or Let the Flames Begin where there's like something exceptional in this song. It's just, for me, it almost feels like a filler song. It doesn't really do anything anywhere, you know?
Yeah.
There's just a standard good performance.
I wrote one word: standard. It's like I've heard this instrumental before 1,000 times. You know, I can't remember this song at all. Like you said, it's just there.
Yeah. For me, this was the worst song on the album.
That's fair.
I thought that it was literally a filler song. And also, as well, just again, the mixing on the song, the vocal processing on the song.
No, I agree on this one, actually, Brad. What you said, she was drowned out. The chorus, you couldn't hear what she was saying. Like, she was completely drowned out.
It was just awfully compressed. Like, it sounds like when they tried to originally do the song, she must have been way louder than the guitars. And when they tried to squish it down, it just didn't work.
It's like a demo. Like, it shouldn't have been on the album.
Yeah, there's absolutely nothing redeeming about this song. It was just a bad song.
Yeah, I'm again, for me, not a fan. Doesn't do anything for me at all. It doesn't stoke up any emotion. Nothing. Just it's there. Okay, so we'll move to Crush, Crush, Crush. When I was a little emo, back when I was a little chunky emo.
You're still a little emo.
I'm still a little emo. I'll admit that. But no, this song is widely regarded as one of the better Paramore songs. I never thought that. Never thought that. This
now, if you take me back 10 years ago, I actually used to enjoy this song.
Yeah.
I can understand that. Like, I bopped to it when it came on. You know.
Just so we're clear, I'm talking 10 years ago. I'm not talking.
Yeah.
I'm about to give you.
I'm glad you
That's fine.
established that, bro.
Yeah. But yeah, listening to this now, it's not. I don't like the flow of it. I don't like the chorus.
I think the one thing you can say about it is the chorus can be kind of catchy.
Nah.
It is.
I understand how it could be catchy, but it, for me, it doesn't do anything again. Like, listening to this after a few years, nothing there for me. Adam?
Yeah. This song's, I just wrote disappointing because I quite like the opening. Like, there was some synthy sounds in there, which I mean, I've said before. I like rock music with like more electronic elements thrown in. I usually like that. There was like some sounds thrown in that were quite interesting, but yeah, apart from that, it was the same old, just annoying chorus. The switch up bit with the rock and roll, like the rock and roll segment, that was just bad. That was really bad. That was so cringy. The lyrics, taped over your mouth, something about lies.
Scribbled out the truth in their lies.
Like,
spies.
Oh mate, it's just so like, my dad told me off. He's a liar. I'm gonna go in my room and listen to some metal. You know, it's just like 14-year-old girls writing some deep shit. You know.
Yeah, just to follow up on that, I thought again the vocal processed really badly. Because, like I say, it just sounded like they squished it down again. Because she didn't sound natural in this song at all.
No, I think there was more like robot-y voice in this one as well, which I didn't like.
And there was nothing really that impressive about the instrumentation either.
No, there's nothing much to talk about this one.
10 years ago, this was a bop. Right now, it's an absolute. It's just a dead song.
It hurts. So, it hurts. Yeah. So the next song on the album, "We Are Broken." So. This song, so this song, this is the general gist of this song, which I feel kind of reflects now, is that the whole, like, the planet is fucked, people are fucked, everything's fucked, and we as a people are broken, and we need to kind of fix up and kind of, you know, that's the kind of message.
Yeah.
Now, back when you're a little emo, it slaps. And even now, I can appreciate it. You know, I can appreciate this song. It's lyrically, it's probably one of the stronger songs. It's got a bit more of a substance to it, but yeah, I enjoy this song. It's a good song for me on this album. Adam?
I really enjoyed this song. Like, honestly, not even in a like ashamed, oh, it's the best song on the album thing. I genuinely like this song. It was giving me like Radiohead vibes. Like, there was like these sparse, echoey drums in the background, and the piano layered over it reminded me of like something from OK Computer, like Karma Police.
Let's
like
not give
that
it
sparse
much
piano.
praise here.
Reminded me of. I'm not comparing it to Radiohead. I'm saying there are sounds that reminded me of Radiohead. I would never do that to Radiohead. You know that, right? But yeah, the piano and the guitar like blended really well to me, and it was quite layered. It sounded different from pretty much everything else on the album, which I appreciated. Again, it was giving me more alternative indie vibes as opposed to pop punk, and that's probably why I liked it. And her singing was really good on this song. I like the chorus on this as well, like the "We Are Broken" refrain. Like, again, I felt like you could feel her emotion.
Brad?
I thought this song was quite boring.
Oh, damn! Here we go.
So I enjoyed the vocal performance. Because that was actually a standout part of this track. But the issue is that, I mean, I feel like they've done better. Well, I mean, at this point they hadn't, but as we move on future in time, they've made a song like this but done it better.
What song's that, Brad, by the way?
Because it sort of reminded me in a way of Only Exception, but I feel like Only Exception was done a lot better.
Okay, you can have that opinion, that's fine. That's fair.
It's all right. You could be wrong, Brad. It's fine.
Yeah.
No, because it's not wrong.
Okay.
But I feel like they were on the right track with this song, but it didn't quite hit for me.
Okay. That's fair. I feel like this definitely was one of their stronger songs on the album. I
feel like for me they were almost there with it, but didn't quite get to me.
Yeah, it's almost as if they just were like, fuck it, let's try and not make a pop punk song. Let's just try and make something that we want to make.
But that's
it's not like they were trying to be pop punk. Yeah.
All the songs on this album that don't sound like pop punk, I like.
Yeah.
Apart from one song, which we'll get on to very soon.
Okay. So, okay.
Well,
so we'll move on
to this next song is the one I felt like had a bit more of an indie vibe.
Yeah. Not indie.
No, I mean, not indie.
No, this was not indie.
Okay. We'll start with Adam. We'll start with Adam again.
This is the worst song on the album by far. This is a mess and it's terrible and I hate it. And after I just decided I actually like this song and I'm like, they've got me, They finally got me. They decided to ruin it. They shat all over my face. And this is not an indie song. This is an attempt at a country pop punk crossover. And it's fucking terrible.
Crossover of the century.
There's a washboard in this song. You can hear the washboard, right?
Yeah. Let me just throw a little something at you, right? So for me, this song sounded like they were trying to rip off a Panic at the Disco.
No, this song sounded like they were trying to rip off Mumford and Sons and Taylor Swift.
No, I wouldn't go that far.
I said off-putting immediately. As soon as it started, I was like, what the fuck is this? I don't like the country vibe. I said, is this country pop punk? I'm confused. I actually really disliked her vocals in this. I don't know what she was doing. She was doing like a half-sung, half-spoken.
No, I feel like again
weird
the
thing.
Vocal processing was really bad on this song as well.
Yeah, that too.
So
chorus super annoying, voice annoying again. Washboard, what the fuck? Like, why?
Well, the thing is
this?
with this song, and I think with the whole country vibes, they are from Nashville.
Right.
So I think they maybe tried to throw in something, but didn't hit. Did not hit. There's no other song that Paramore have made that sounds anything like this.
No.
There's one thing I will say is that there was at least the instrumentation in this song was a bit different.
Yes.
Different, yeah, but not in a good way.
No,
that's
but
exactly
I mean, like,
how I wrote it.
There was I mean, but there was a lot of bad things about this song. And as well, if any of you were even listening to the lyrics on this, it was trash.
On
this song,
I
was trying
the lyrics
not to
for
hear
this,
anything, to be honest. I was just like,
that's fair.
Make it stop, rocking back and
so
forth.
the general gist of the lyrics for this was that Haley was trying to write a song to other people like her, so the people in the media who are young, and these people who are like getting stalked outside their house, they're getting their photos taken of them all the time, and then the whole that little line, what is it? They'll go out in style, was kind of basically like you're poking and prodding these people until they do something bad. That's the whole gist of this song, and I don't know why it's on this album.
That's all well and good.
Not a message.
You don't need to do a country pop punk song to give that message,
Oh my god. Yeah. It's just it's one of those songs that it can go away and it can stay away,
Yeah.
We've got the next song, Born for This. I wrote, this song was simple, and that's what I wrote. It's just
really annoying. It was just boring, annoying.
Yeah,
it felt like another throwaway track. So
again, so it just feels like they were like, oh, we need to make another pop punky song. We've made a couple good, slower songs. Let's do a quick one. Yeah, let's make this song, and they kind of threw together some pop punky sounds.
Do you know another thing I will say about this album is that I don't understand quite where the structure was of the songs that they were playing.
It doesn't follow a theme.
Yeah, there was nothing really that there was no really followed the next one in a similar pattern or in a way that makes you
No.
think this is like a progressing through an album. It sounded like
Yeah.
a list of singles, and a lot of them were bad.
Yeah.
So
That's why it was disappointing though, because as I said, like you follow up a song that you genuinely like, and then it's just like a song that's terrible, and then it goes back to just being generic. It's like just cut some of that shit out and rearrange it a bit, and you might have a half decent album. You know?
Yeah, but again, so this song definitely filler, definitely just like kind of need a pop punky song. Let's throw this in. Done a few slow ones now. Let's speed it up a bit.
There's nothing to say about this song. It's just like
I'm struggling here.
It's just what it is, isn't it? It's just exactly what you could imagine it could be. That's exactly what it
is.
Yeah. That's perfect, Brad. So then we move on to the last song. Stop this song.
Bank.
No. So again, this is another song that I did not know existed. I put this song on, and I don't think I've ever heard this song
right
before this, which
Even
is weird.
That's your favorite album,
right?
Like shows,
all these songs individually, I had listened to hundreds of times.
Yeah,
but this song, I don't remember it. I have zero recollection of it, and it's not a good song. Listening to it now, it's just
not a good song.
Right,
it's
can I just
a horrible way to end an album.
The song is called "Stop This Song." Right, I just wrote "Stop This Album." I mean, they
it's
set
fair.
that up for me, you know.
Yeah.
It's just like I did like the guitar. There was that telly indie guitar again, but that's the only thing I remember from this song. Basically, the vocals were still good, but it was just like this is your last song on the album, and the album just like peters out completely.
Yeah,
it just drifts off, and you're just like, oh, it's over now.
For me, I don't understand how this could be an ending album track. Like, I think this is like the immaturity of them that's really come out here.
Exactly, 100%. Yeah.
Because again, this could have been one of the worst tracks on the actual album. Because the lyrics were awful. I mean, what does she even mean when she said this 4/4 beat? I'll die for you. Like, what does that even mean?
I don't know.
Again, and also the one redeeming quality of this album was performance, and I felt like on this song she was actually bad. So
I don't remember much about it, to be honest.
Yeah, again, zero recollection of it.
So, for me overall, it's just a weak closer.
So, like if you would have switched it around, and I think like if you put "We Are Broken" at the end, it would have at least for me like ended with
left it on a message kind of.
But this is just like, what the fuck are you talking about? What?
Yeah.
Stop this song. Okay, I will. What are you gonna do now? Stop.
Right, so that's the album. All right, so your thoughts before this album, Adam, wasn't expecting much.
No, not at all.
What are your thoughts after listening to that? So this is your first time listening to Paramore.
Yeah. It was better than I thought it'd be, because I knowing pop punk and hearing the singles, I was just expecting, like the songs we said were just generic bad pop punk songs. I was expecting that all the way through, and that was the case for the majority of the album. But there was some nuggets in there for me. There were some highlights. Like there was like 3 or 4 songs from this that I genuinely enjoyed, not just in a objectively this is good or bad way, but like I genuinely did like listening to them. And I think the highlight of the album, which I didn't really expect, was Hayley Williams. She's genuinely a good singer.
Yeah,
and
honestly,
I think pop punk is just like got such a dearth of terrible singers.
Yeah,
it is kind of refreshing when someone does sound good, you know.
Yeah.
It's similar to what I said about last week's "You Are We" album, where it's not for me, but there was some good aspects in there, you know. Like the album sequencing, you could have rearranged it a bit better to make it a more cohesive album, because some of the songs were just unnecessary, and the album just got really boring. Those last 3 songs just like left you with a sour taste.
Yeah,
but there were some good songs on there, and just looking at it from me listening to it at one time, it's just straight down the middle, 5 out of 10.
Cool. That is 5 points higher than I thought you'd go.
Yeah, like genuinely, I was expecting a 2. Like after the first few songs, I was like, make it stop. I was expecting it to be terrible, but there was some highlights.
Cool. Brad, what about you?
See, I'm still very much struggling to rate this purely because of like the inconsistencies I found in all of the songs. Because overall, there was probably like 1 or 2 songs I actually enjoyed to some extent, and every song had a decent performance from Hayley Williams, and some songs had a really good performance from Hayley Williams. But the music just really let it down, and the mixing really let it down, and everything else about the song really let it down. So for me, it's hard. It's hard to rate an album when you only enjoy one song, but some things are okay and some things are not. So overall, I'm gonna give it a 3.
That's fair.
Yeah. That makes sense.
So for me, if you were to ask me 5 years ago, Dylan, what would you rate this album? I'd give it just straight up 10 out of 10. Listening to this now, a lot of the songs you just can't relate to anymore or at all. Like there's nothing, like listening back to some songs like other bands, you can kind of understand it a bit more. You can kind of feel the music. But this, you can't really feel anything because it's so immature. It's just immature. But again, there are quite a few songs on here that I am happy to listen to multiple times. And yeah, overall, not the best Paramore album for me, but for me, it has a lot of memories, which is why I chose it. So I'd give it a solid 6. I'd give it a 5.5.
Ooh, that's
I'd give it a 5.5. Really.
The thing with me is that I feel like their next album was the one that they really had the bigger hits out of, which made them sort of a better band. And the thing is, with Hayley Williams' vocal performance, I feel like I kind of want to listen to this album now, right? Not the one we just listened to, but the next one in the line. Because I remember singles from that album that I actually kind of enjoyed.
Really good.
Yeah, there was actually some really good songs. I mean, like, and even when I saw them live, those songs really still hit quite well. So for me, I think I might actually just listen to the next album called Brand New Eyes. And obviously, I'm not gonna have to share my opinion with you guys because I've getting
of course.
But I'll give you guys a little what I think in the chat afterwards.
See, on that point as well, one thing I am surprised about is those good songs that I did like made me more curious about maybe there's some other songs that I would like from Paramore, which I did not expect at all. Because like if there's other good songs that you recommend that are similar to ones I like, then I'd be open to that.
If you listen to the next album, Adam, you might like it.
Maybe.
Genuinely, I'm looking at the track list now.
We'll see.
And Brad, you got Careful, Ignorant, Playing God. Great Paramore songs.
Do you know, they've even got Decode on that album, which was obviously the Twilight song, and I really enjoyed that song.
Unbelievable. No, Adam.
Enjoyed that song.
Unbelievable. Her voice.
I mean, obviously you've heard me say Twilight, so you're thinking, oh fuck,
Yeah. But no, her voice on that is incredible. But yeah, I feel like that the main thing is that Hayley Williams in this album dragged the entire band on her back.
100%.
Definitely. We can all agree.
But as the albums go on, the band it chops and changes a bit, and it gets so much better musically.
Yeah, the one thing I know is that the next album definitely progresses them better. So,
100%.
Yeah. So do you know what I'd like a Hayley Williams album that's just like electro instrumental.
Well,
Adams, oh my God,
has just released an album this year.
Like 2 weeks ago. 2 weeks ago, and it's electro-y pop, like not poppy, but electro-y rocky.
Well, say no more.
Yeah, we'll say.
Yeah.
Right. So we've had our little album discussion, which was kind of surprising, actually.
I'm so shocked.
I have a question for you both. So this question is, if you could spend a week in any city in the world, like money, no object, what would you choose? So while you're thinking, I've got a couple answers. I think Rio de Janeiro, Brazil. would be really
Hell yeah.
interesting. Obviously, hot tropical climate, football, be pretty sick. And also Tokyo. I've always wanted to visit Tokyo. Obviously, you got Mount Fuji you can climb up, and then it's like a blend of like traditional, like ancient stuff with like the modern stuff. So yeah, Tokyo would be sick. What about you, Brad?
There's a lot of places I've still got to visit in the world. I mean, I'd love to do an African safari. I think that'd be really cool. I've always wanted to go to Canada. I couldn't tell you why. I've always wanted to go to Canada. Though,
go to the Six.
I've
meet
always
Drake.
wanted. I always like say I wanted to go like snowboarding in the mountains or something. But Canada's something that I really wanted to do.
Yeah.
That's just a couple of things from me.
I feel like Adam, you've taken my one. So my number one place is Tokyo. It is for me the perfect place to go to, especially if you have money, because then you can go to all these beautiful, amazing hotels. True. You can go on these amazing tours of Mount Fuji and all the temples. The food will be unbelievable.
Right, actually, I want to go to Thailand just for the food.
Thailand, 100%. Yeah. Another place I would like to go to is either Hawaii, one of the islands in Hawaii, or just somewhere in India. Because I've been to India multiple times, but this is when I've had, no money.
Yeah.
With a lot of money, there's so much to do there. Yeah.
And also, Dylan, you're a massive weeboo, so when you're walking around Tokyo, you just be buying Pokemon plushies and shit.
100%. That is without a doubt.
Right, that answered that then. So next week,
guys, what have you got in store?
Dylan's is the film recommendation.
Dylan, just so we're clear, right? Of the things that you've so far suggested, I've not enjoyed any of it. So
okay, so this might shock you. We'll see. So we're going for a movie that stars Tommy Lee Jones and Javier Bardem, right? Directed by Joel Cohen and Ethan Cohen.
Yes.
It is No Country for Old Men.
Yes. I'm in. I've got a DVD ready.
I have never even heard of it.
This movie for me has been recommended so much.
Yeah.
And I only know one thing about it, and I think it's about some psychopathic man.
Right.
That's it.
So you've never seen it? That's interesting.
I've never seen it.
So I'm the only one who's seen it.
Yes.
Okay, I've been meaning to rewatch that actually. That's on my watch because I've seen it years ago. So that's good. It's a good suggestion. Hopefully we won't be miserable talking about one of Dylan's suggestions this time.
I mean, you guys love Cat in the Hat, so.
Right. Oh, hell yeah.
Speaking about being miserable, no, I'm joking. I'm not doing that. Right. My album recommendation for next week is an album that we might have heard, or we've at least heard a few songs from. It's a classic album. I want to talk about Fat of the Land by Prodigy. So
I have never listened.
The Fat of the Land.
I have never listened to the Prodigy.
You've heard Firestarter.
I've heard Firestarter. That's it.
So that's this album. Yeah. Right. Also this album. Okay. So yeah, we're going to talk about Prodigy's groundbreaking album, Fat of the Land.
Damn, next week's going to be a good one.
Yeah. Okay. So thanks for joining me, guys. And I will see you next week.
Bye-bye.
So.